Testing. Test 1, 2. Okay, everyone, let's start the what if. What if Bulma became a Saiyan? Part 1. Let me set the scene. Pilaf had just taken the Dragon Balls outside of his castle, ready to summon Shinron. Everyone was panicking inside of the small room Pilaf had trapped them in. Yamcha was desperately punching the walls. Goku said, "I could try the Kamehameha, but it always makes me so hungry." Bulma said, Well, just do it already!" Bulma turned to Yamcha. "You too!" Yamcha stammered, "I can't do that." Bulma was not hearing it. "Just shut up and do it already!" she screamed. Goku and Yamcha both charged up a blast. To Yamcha's surprise, he was actually able to charge a small ball of ki as well. Although much weaker than Goku's, it was still a Kamehameha. They both fired it at the same spot in the wall. With Yamcha's aid, it was able to just barely break open the wall. It was not a small hole like the cannon. In a matter of seconds, the cracks spread all over the wall, slowly making the entire thing crumble. Yamcha stared at his palms in utter shock. "I did that?" Goku jumped down, not wasting time, and attacked Pilaf, Shu, and Mai, knocking them all out with ease. A few moments later, Yamcha ran over, with Bulma not falling far behind. Bulma said, The Dragon Balls! Now I can get my wish!" She gathered all the Dragon Balls in her arms and started to giggle to herself. Yamcha's heart starts racing. This was it. It was time for him to knock out Bulma, beat Goku, and seal the wish for himself. But he didn't want to. Yamcha let out a long breath and asked, "So, what was your wish, Bulma?" She turned to Yamcha with a wide smile on her face and said, "Well, I want to wish for a boyfriend." She trailed off as she looked into Yamcha's eyes, seemingly falling deep into a stare. Her face turned slightly red. Bulma said, "Oh, well, I don't want the Dragon Balls anymore. You should have them, Yamcha." She shoved them forward, not giving Yamcha time to react. Yamcha stood clumsily fumbling around, trying not to drop any of the Dragon Balls Bulma had just given him. He said, "Really?" He laughed and said, "Thank you!" Without realizing what he was doing, Yamcha dropped the Dragon Balls and picked up Bulma in his arms. In a few moments, he sat her down and turned to the Dragon Balls. "Right, I guess I'll make my wish." Bulma summoned Shinron by calling out his name. Everyone stood, and Yamcha said, "Shinron, get rid of my fear of girls!" Shinron shouted back, "I cannot. Your fear has already been lifted." Yamcha said, "Wait, but He turned to Bulma and said, "I don't know what to wish for anymore." Oolong said, "I'd be more than happy to take that wish off your hands." Bulma smacked him across the head. "You're the last person who deserves that wish. Goku, why don't you make the wish?" Goku said, "But I don't really want anything." She said, "Well, it's either you or the pig, and I'm not giving it to Oolong. So just wish for a steak or something." Shinron was baffled, though he didn't show it. These people were arguing over who would get the wish. I mean, that was something he had seen before, but not in a manner where people were trying to push the wish on each other, as if it was some kind of curse. Goku steps up regardless. Shinron says, "Make your wish." Goku thought for a moment. He didn't want anything for himself, so why not wish something for someone else? Then Goku remembered something. Bulma always seemed upset about not having a tail. She screamed at him whenever he brought it up. Goku laughed and said, "Dragon, give Bulma a tail just like mine, okay?" Shinron said, "Very well." Bulma screamed, "Wait!" But the wish was made. Shinron's eyes glowed red, and he was scattered to the ends of the earth. Everyone turned to Bulma. She nervously felt her backside and grabbed a tail from her pants. "Goku, you idiot!" she cried. "Why would you do this to me?" Goku said, "Well, gee, Bulma, I always thought you wanted one. You seemed so grumpy whenever I brought it up." She started crying on the ground, flailing her arms in a small fit. Yamcha, in an attempt to make her feel better, said, "Oh, come on, Bulma, it looks, cute. It really adds to your charm." Bulma rubbed her eyes and said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, of course it does. Right, Por?" Por nodded. "Yamcha's right. It really suits you." Bulma's tone changed immediately, and she started blushing again. However, she did take note that for some odd reason her hair had turned black and was quite rigid in its shape. The rest of the encounter goes as canon. Bulma gives Goku the radar, and everyone but Goku heads to the city. Later that day, Bulma followed Yamcha around the city on a bit of a tour-based trip. She would tell him about the buildings and what little history she knew. Yamcha just kept getting distracted by the extremely tall buildings. "I'll never get used to this," he said, his neck in a constant upward stare. They came across a dojo, and Yamcha seemed excited. Well, I've been feeling a bit pent up lately." Bulma said, "What do you mean?" Yamcha said, "Well, us fighters tend to feel stiff and anxious when we don't get a good workout. Needless to say, I feel like showing the locals just what the new guy is made of." Bulma followed Yamcha inside. Yamcha shouted with immense confidence, "What's going on, everyone? I'm here to fight anyone brave enough to take me on." The group seemed surprised, but a large man ducked under a doorway coming out of the bathroom. "I'll take you on." Yamcha got into his fighting stance. Bulma watched from the sidelines, enamored by Yamcha's movement, paying closer detail to the fight than she normally would. Yamcha, of course, toppled the giant in a matter of seconds. Bulma cheered for her new boyfriend, who was easily decimating the entire dojo. As the day continued, Bulma found herself constantly tapping her foot, over and over. Whenever she tried to distract herself with work, she found herself constantly fidgeting. It was driving her crazy. She thought back to Yamcha's words. While she didn't think of herself as a fighter, she did think that a good workout would help with her anxiousness. She got up to get ready and saw Yamcha outside. Despite it being almost dark out, he was doing several exercises. She thought it would be a good idea to bond with Yamcha through training. After all, if he loved it so much, she was sure she would enjoy it. I mean, they were kinda soulmates. She walked down and stood beside Yamcha. He asked, "Hi, Bulma. Need something?" Bulma nodded. "I was wondering if I could join you," she asked with a smile. Yamcha excitedly said, "Sure, I'd love to have you join me. I was just about to do my next set of push-ups." Bulma exercised with Yamcha for the remainder of the day. By the time they were finished, the streetlights had already been on for about half an hour. She lay down on the ground out of breath, while Yamcha only seemed to work up a light sweat. "That was fun, wasn't it? Well, if you don't mind, I want to hit the showers first." Bulma slightly raised her arm and waved at Yamcha, signaling the okay. Yamcha said, "Don't lay out here too long or you'll catch a cold." 5 minutes later, she sat up and wiped the stray strands of grass off her shirt. Bulma actually enjoyed that exercise. It seemed to scratch an itch that was really bothersome. She walked in and took a shower after Yamcha. While scrubbing her hair, she was shocked to find it was actually poking her hand. It was hell-bent on keeping its shape. The next morning, Yamcha was already training. Bulma got herself some breakfast, a bowl of cereal, and headed up to work on her project. Then, all of a sudden, there it was again. That annoying itch she had felt yesterday. She thought, some morning exercise actually does not sound so bad. She walked down the stairs to meet Yamcha. This time he wasn't doing simple muscle building exercises, he was repeating the same movements, trying to ingrain them into his mind. Bulma was again mesmerized by the repetition and style of movement. Bulma wonders why she had become so enamored by all the martial arts. They never appealed to her before, so why now? She chalked it up to the fact her new boyfriend was a martial artist, so it was only natural for her to find his interest more appealing now, right? She walked over and asked, "Hey Yamcha, you think you could teach me some of those moves?" Yamcha said, "Wow, I didn't expect you to be the fighting type. Or could it just be you want to spend some more time with me?" Yamcha walked over and said, "Okay, now here are the basics." He showed her his fighting styles, and to his surprise, she picked up everything rather fast, almost as if she was hardwired to copy the techniques of others. Yamcha was extremely impressed, and rather happy Bulma was learning so well. "Not bad. You're a fast learner. Or maybe I'm just a great teacher." With her training itch scratched, she walked back inside and got to work on her project. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck with tomorrow and every day after.